What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Segun. I'm being joined by the beautiful and talented Nora, a hot mama, my co-host. And with us today is the multi-talented producer, actress, super mom, Mechelle Epps. She's on Wired In with Segun. She's going to tell us all about herself and all the things that she's got going on. So, Mechelle, welcome. What's up?
Thank you. Nothing much. Just steady trying to work.
Steady trying to work. I ain't mad at that. So, what are you working on now?
Well, I'm looking for a new project to do.
Okay.
Thinking about a scary movie because I don't wait for people to hire me. I produce my own thing. I just finished a play not too long ago, one of Don B. Welch's play, Living Ain't Easy, Dying Ain't Beautiful. It kicked my butt.
So now, when you produce a play, are you in charge of all the aspects, the hiring, the firing, the finding the venue, the director, all of that? That's all on you?
No, I'm more like I will hire someone to do all those things.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because I'm also acting the project, so I can't do everything.
So when you produce, you're also going to be you're using it as a vehicle for your own acting stuff.
Yes, but I do like to produce. Like, I like to get look at the dailies and like that didn't look good. Let's do it this way. So I do a little co-directing too.
Okay. How did you fall into this? How did you because unfortunately you don't see too many African American women in production, or as you said, I don't wait for work. I go make my own way. How'd you get involved in all of this?
Well, I think first is my personality. I've always been like that, a go-getter, and I take the time to learn how to do certain things, especially since nowadays, you can produce your own, you can buy your own camera and then shoot and edit, and it's not so important where it has to be perfect or like a high budget film. So I think the way like new technology is, you could just go out and do it and try it because people respect that. And since they have film festivals, which a lot of big movies get distribution from that. So I think the new way has just made it more easier. And I'm just like, let me just do it. I'm not scared because you can fail later. Or, you have to fail to learn and to get better.
Now, how do you juggle all that? Because you're a mom, you're a wife, you're producing, you're acting. It's a lot of hats you're wearing. Like, when do you sleep?
Well, what I'll do is I'll just get like this spirit where I'm like, I gotta go. I'm gonna do it, and just the adrenaline just has me going, and then I'll sleep later. They say you can sleep when you die. So and then I don't every day. I'm not doing a project because most movies it takes 2 years to do. So for me, maybe a few months. But I'll do something, and then you have to work it afterwards. After it's edited and trying to get it out, sending it to the film festivals, and just working the circuit. So I pace myself.
Okay.
I'm looking at your social media, at your Instagram, and I see a lot of pictures of you working out and getting fit. Is this like a personal thing that you enjoy, or is this for health reasons, or are you just vain like Segun and you like to
Vanity's
you like
all right.
to look good in those jeans?
It's Southern California, baby. Vanity is okay.
Right. Well, it's all that I would have to say, because in this business you have to look good. Nobody wants to see like a big girl on TV. Because you're gonna be just the friend. So, you'll get on it, but I want to be a leading lady. So, it's a certain look people want to see. I guess when people go see movies or look at TV, they want to see who they want to be or aspire to be. Sometimes they get lost in you or lost in that character. And then I want to look good for myself and be healthy. Being a mom, you have to step it up. I'm not 21 anymore, so.
I feel you. You look great.
Yeah, you do.
What are you doing? What's your workout secret? Are you working out with a trainer?
I am. I work out every day. Ooh. The weekends don't count.
Weekends are cheat days.
5 days a week. She just put me to shame.
Yeah, Monday through Friday with my trainer, Mike T. Force Fitness.
Mike T.
Mike T. Shout out to Mike T.
and
Force Fitness. Well, you just said something. Nobody wants to see a big girl on camera. Now, how do you feel about that? Because as a woman in this business, which is predominantly male, it's a male-dominated business. Most of the time, it's guys calling the shots, and it feels like it's us guys that are defining what beauty and what beautiful is. Mm-hmm. But does that mean now we just excluding a whole segment of society? The Gabrielle Sibba days, are we just kind of like, hey, honey, you're too big, we got to push you over here? Or is there room on camera for the thick girls?
I do think so.
Okay.
I think there is room. I just don't look good big.
Okay.
I look better slimmer,
Okay.
and it just works more for me. You know what I mean? I can get more of what I want being slim. No.
She wasn't joking. That was truth.
But some girls look cute big, and there's nothing wrong with being big. If that's who you are. But I've always been slim. So,
Okay.
I want to continue that. I just want to stay, and I want to be healthy. And it's, because I have 2 kids, so I know what it's like to be heavier. And for me, it doesn't feel good. You can't walk in your heels the same. Your feet hurt quickly.
Right.
Like, the extra weight is a lot. You just can't do as much. And I'm very active, and I like to do things with my children. And I want to live a long time.
I can respect that.
Yeah, see, because to me that's an important message that I don't think, that you can be a professional woman, you can be this rock star mom and wife, and you can still be healthy. Like, you can tie it all together, and it doesn't have to be you got to sacrifice one for the other. Like you said, I sleep when I'm dead. Yeah, it might take a little bit more work, but it's doable.
Right.
And I think that more, young women, women of all colors and shades and sizes, but more women, I think, need to see your example of what you're doing and how you're doing it, and maybe use your blueprint to do something for themselves.
And I think a lot of times we quit before we even start. So a lot of times people think, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this. Where there's a will, there's a way. It'll all work itself out. You know what I mean? You can't worry about, well, if this happens, who's going to watch the kids or who's going to do this? It'll work.
If you build it, they will come.
Yes.
Field of dreams.
Thank you, Field of Dreams.
Yes.
Now, you're married to Mike Epps, talented comedian and actor.
Yes.
How has that affected what you do professionally?
Well, I think people expect more from me. Like, they expect me to be like an Academy Award winning performance, like off the top. And I'm like, that's just unreal.
You got to come with all the jokes and
Right.
With
They expect
your
you to be.
husband.
They expect you to be. Like either as quick and as Mike, or his sensibilities. But you're 2 different people.
Exactly. And I think too, a lot of people when they come out here, most people don't come right into it and get in the business and live well. Because, LA is a hard place to make it. So sometimes I feel like people are like, well, she has it made. She's married. She doesn't have to worry about bills. She doesn't need this job. Let's give it to the girl who is struggling or who, needs to pay her rent this month.
so it's almost harder for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a double-edged sword.
Yes.
So it's actually been a hindrance then. The last name Epps has maybe shut doors instead of opening them.
Well, not necessarily, because I do feel like, because LA is who you know. So I have a lot of experience with, I've gone into Disney and sat in meetings, CAA. So I know the lingo. I know how this business works. But it's like I have to work harder. Like,
You have to work twice as hard to prove yourself.
Yes. Whereas maybe you might get someone else might get another chance, or I have to be on it from day one, like kill it.
And it can't be easy being in the spotlight all the time. With a famous husband, with the stuff that you're trying to do with your kids, you have to, actually, let me not say what you have to do. How do you balance all of that when he has a movie premiere and you've got to go and now the kids or dinner, or how do you be a regular person in an irregular world?
I think I just stay true. We both are very real. So I don't let it affect me or think like, oh, I have to, like, okay, say we have a premiere. I'll do dinner during lunchtime, or just fix it before, or call out and have the food delivered. And, just I make sure I'm prepared ahead of time. So whatever needs to be done, I just prioritize everything. And then the kids, even I noticed that my daughters, we have 2 daughters, they look up to me more when I'm working and doing things. Even me working out has just changed even my thinking, and just I can go more. With them, when they're like, hey, let's go outside. Normally I would be like, oh, I'm tired, or no, I want to lay on the couch. Now I'm like, let's go. Or I'll tell them, let's go hike on Saturdays, and tell them this is what we have to do, and eating healthy. And they really appreciate that, and they listen, because a lot of times people don't realize kids want to see their parents doing the right thing, and then they'll just follow.
Now, I'm going to say something that probably get me into a lot of trouble, but that's okay. That's what we do here. Now, I've watched Mike from, like the early beginnings to the movies and the stuff that he's doing now. And I feel very confident in saying I have never been the biggest fan of his stand-up, but Mike Epps, the actor, has completely gone to a new level. Like, we're talking stratosphere level, and he's got some really big projects coming up, and I'm so happy for the both of you and what that means. Him, the actor, is wildly talented. And I just saw Bessie, for example, with Queen Latifah on HBO, and I thought he did a tremendous job. But he built and started as a stand-up comedian. Did you ever feel like the jokes he was doing on stage were either too close to home or talked about your personal life? Did you ever have to regulate that or say some things are off limits, some things you can't talk about? Look, we got daughters, you can't say this. How did you check and balance the stand-up comedian?
No, I never told him because when we met, he was doing that.
Okay.
So, and it's what works. It pays the bills. So with his art, I don't say anything. Like, I may suggest things, and a lot of those jokes were mine.
Oh. Let that be known, everybody. Ghostwriter.
The brains and the funny bone.
Yes.
Ghostwriter.
I think comedians are funnier when they're talking about relationships, things that everybody goes through. You know what I mean? Kind of when you talk about things that happen in your hometown, like if you're not from the Midwest, maybe you're from the South, you don't know what that is, so you can't get it. But when things, I feel like when he started talking about things with us and relationships and how your wife, like when you want to get some and how every man goes through that, you know?
Don't I know it? I had a talk with my girl the other day. Y'all be stingy. Anyway, that's another whole other thing, whole other show.
So I think his stand-up, it was preparing him for now, because most people go to acting class and they study. That was his acting class, because just being a comedian is hard within itself.
Right.
Like last night I was saying I went to a comedy show, and this guy was heckling the comedian, and he was like, anybody come up here and do this. Here goes the mic. Come up here and do it yourself. No, I don't think any of you will, because it's harder than you think. And sometimes when you're like, oh, that's not funny. And it was like, you have to think, it's about how the joke was set up. It's deeper than just, was it funny? So people who know comedy and who are in, even like, because a lot of executives go to comedy shows trying to find new talent.
Right.
You just see, how they set things up, and you get it. Like sometimes when I'm watching things, I laugh before the joke is completed, because I get it, what they're trying to do.
You know where it's going.
Yeah.
I wonder, because we've talked to comedians before, and we've interviewed comedians, and they talk about this language of comedy. Chris Rock has said it, that, I remember watching Eddie Murphy. I was at the Laugh Factory one time, and Eddie was just sitting there, and there are people rolling on the floor with the jokes someone was telling, and Eddie would just sit there and go, that's funny. Like, he wouldn't laugh out loud. He would just be like, that's funny. Like, the comedians have their own language and understand the jokes. With you being around it so much, do you find yourself gravitating towards producing comedy projects because that's basically in the family?
Yeah, because I like comedy. It's fun. You know what I mean? And it's kind of naturally. I have like a Chelsea Handler comedy, though.
Okay.
Like, very.
So you're raunchy.
No, when I say that, I mean dry, like she's sarcastic.
Okay. You should, because Chelsea a freak. Chelsea raunchy.
Well, she just says anything. We'll say that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Most people are scared to say different things, so it's just the humor can sometimes be dry. So if you're like an uptight person, or like certain people get me. Like I have certain friends that are like, you are hilarious. I'm like, I like you. You're my girl.
So what comedians do you like?
Yeah.
Who's funny to you?
She's going to be like, everybody you don't mention is going to be on the phone, so I ain't funny to you?
Ooh, I'm like, I can't answer that. I don't know. Like, I have to think about it. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I want to ask you one thing. A while back, your husband, Mike Epps, had a little beef with Kevin Hart. So when your husband beefs, which is really funny to hear comedians beefing, are you like, is his beef your beef? Like, were you ready to take off the Simone Smith hoops and go at it with Kevin Hart?
No, because the thing is, everybody knows everyone. So by the time like the world sees these people, so sometimes it's backstories that you don't know or you don't get, or sometimes people just want to challenge people because they get in different positions, and now they just want to go, and then it creates a lot of just attention.
It's a lot of buzz. It does generate buzz.
Yeah, me, I don't like when people say stuff or rumors. I'm like, I don't have time for that.
You don't address that.
When something like that happens, though, and you don't address it, and you've got your young daughters, how have you managed to kind of keep them out of the firing line? Like, do you like ban all social media, or look, don't read, no Twitter for you, no Facebook for you, just because if they read it, all of a sudden they're going to be like, mommy, why are they saying this about you? Why are they saying this about dad? What's going on?
Well, they're not old enough.
Good.
But sometimes they do see things because at school they use the computer,
Right.
and so things do come up, or other kids at school which know too much, they will mention things. But I just explained to them it wasn't a big deal. Or sometimes people do argue. I mean, that's real life. That doesn't mean like it's the end of the world, because Kevin and our daughter are best friends. They're like a month apart. So it's kind of like, it's just like it wasn't that serious.
Kevin's kids and your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is that Hollywood beef real? Like, come on. I tell Nora all the time that this beef.
It's not Biggie Tupac.
Like, yeah, this
No.
beef isn't real.
I tell people, don't listen to the media, because sometimes people put 10 on 20 and they don't even know. Like, unless you talk to Kevin or Mike verbatimly, you can't really say what it was. You know what I mean?
At the end, it was entertainment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't don't listen to the media, because we the media. So listen to this media.
Well,
listen to
the
us.
gossip, like the blogs and the, who
Right.
just say, oh, this was this or this was that, and they don't really know unless it comes from, the source. Then you can't say that. Like, you could believe what you all are saying because you all have me here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
Pat ourselves on the back. For that.
So your husband's in the industry. You're an actress. You're a producer. Would you like for your kids to follow in you guys' footsteps and be in the industry as well?
Well, like our youngest daughter, she has it. She is like, when there's parties, oh my goodness. She does skits, comedy. Like one time we were at Shanice and Flex Alexander's house for their daughter's birthday party, and they had a stage and a microphone. My daughter got up there and did stand up.
At what age?
She is 8.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez.
Yes.
Knock knock jokes. Your mama
No.
jokes. Real
No.
jokes.
Real
She's
jokes.
doing long form, just stories. Just
Well, it was good enough for an 8-year-old. They were like, she's good. Like a lot of people, especially people who are stars, have said she has it.
Have you put her into stuff yet? Or
No.
Not yet?
I don't want to do that to her.
Okay.
Because it's like, I think if we were in the hood and we needed the money, she would be working. But right now, I just want her to enjoy her childhood, because a lot of times things change as you become an adult. So maybe when she gets like 15,
Okay.
then, I'm open to that, because at the age of 15, you are who you are.
So where do you get this strength from? Like, how are you this strong, this talented, this on it? Where does it come from?
Probably from my family. Because I grew, and then I know this, I don't want to insult anybody, but I grew up with my father in my life, which I think is very
That's
important.
not insulting.
Not
That's
at all.
a blessing. I mean, I did too, didn't you?
I did.
Okay, so yay, dads.
Right. Some of the comedians were talking about, they had a weekend dad, and I was like, oh my gosh, poor thing. So I'm just like, yeah, my dad was very much in my life, and which I think was so important. And I always went to family reunions on both sides of my family, so I know where I came from. I know who I am, and I teach my children, to be confident, and you can do anything. So I don't know, it's just embedded in me. I was just,
You're grounded.
like
you have
this.
a good work ethic.
and I'm
You
like,
have a moral compass.
and I'm like, I'm who I am, and I'm not changing.
Where can people find you? If I want to follow you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I'm cyber stalking you now. Now I want to be. Now I'm in the cult right
I'm
now.
gonna have a stand.
Yeah, I'm the cult of Mechelle. I'm in the cult. How can we follow you?
Everything is Mechelle Epps, Mechelle Epps, EPPS.
Okay.
Across the board.
Say it again. MECHE
CHELLE
LLEPPS.
She's got that fancy spelling of
Yeah,
Michelle.
It's French for Michael.
There you go. So that's on Twitter, Instagram, and your Facebook is private. People don't need to be stalking you on Facebook. Instagram and Twitter is enough.
Are there any more plays coming up in LA? I want to go.
Well, Donna's supposed to be bringing our playback, which was phenomenal.
I heard it was amazing. You got amazing reviews.
was
Everybody was
deep.
talking about it.
Yeah, it was very deep, though. You have to prepare yourself.
Okay.
But it's good. You have to touch something.
So when are we working on something? Like Nora doesn't want to do that. Like I act a little bit. I act a little bit. You go produce a project. You need somebody with my dark features to be on it. Let's work together.
Right. No, I'm open. I'm looking for, like I said, I'm looking, because I'm like, okay, I'm feeling it. I need to get back to work.
Well, a television, I could see you doing a television show. I could see you, with a talk show of your own, just basically giving back some of this strength. I would love for you with a platform just talking to moms. There's so many people who, like you said, throw their kids in too early, regardless of the talent. You know, this kid got no talent at all. Then be like, go say something funny.
Right,
You
right.
know, but you're actually saying, you know, my 8-year-old is super talented, but we're pumping the brakes. And I would love for that message to get out more. I would love for you to talk to women, you know, who might either in the industry or out of the industry, but just to let them know, you know, there's, you know, do you, be better with you. So. So, fitness. When is like the super unveiling of your, you know, magazine spread? Like, do you have a goal size or whatever in mind?
20 pounds.
20 pounds.
Yes.
Okay. What's the time frame?
I'm not in no time frame. I'm just letting my body naturally do it because I think sometimes too I don't lose weight easily. You know, genetically, it's a lot of big girls in my family.
Okay.
When you get to a certain age, you just become a big girl, and so I'm fighting genes and then health things too. You know, when you have kids and from going too much, sometimes your adrenals get low, all kind of things. So I'm into the health as well as the fitness.
Well, you look great. You look
Yeah,
beautiful
you
the way
do.
you are. But
Yeah.
I've seen you work out, and I know you work out hard, and you will get there.
Yes, yes.
Ladies
Yeah, Nora's there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderfully talented, incredibly gifted, beautiful Mechelle Epps. Follow her at Mechelle Epps on Instagram, at Mechelle Epps on Twitter. Stay away from her Facebook. That's for family. Leave that alone. All right. So we look forward to big things from you, and please don't be a stranger.
Oh no, I definitely want to come back.
Come back anytime.
All right.
Okay.
Anytime you've got a project, hopefully I'll be a part of it. But if I'm not, we still love to have you back.
Yes, yes.
All right. That's Mechelle Epps, and you are wired in with Segun.